Hi, everybody. This is Sarigama. If I'm audible and visible, please write yes on the chat. If I'm not audible to you, write audible, not visible, then write visible. Okay, awesome. So everybody is able to see clearly and hear. So that is great. I'll be sharing a screen with you. Once the screen is visible, you can just tell me visible. All right. How many of you are able to see the screen? Please write screen. Okay, perfect. Everybody is able to see the screen, so let's get started. I'll briefly introduce myself and I'll be taking 15 minutes to talk about the story of Algo University, which is the platform company that has launched ATF program, and also briefly the team. And I'm basically from Algo University. My name is Sarigama. I'll be giving you a brief 10-minute introduction of where ATF came from, the team behind it, and like just an overview for you to understand before Manasar takes over. And then he'll give you like a deep understanding of how to become an ATF scholar, his vision behind why he built it, and everything else. So let's get started. We at Algo University, our mission and vision, everything is to democratize tech education, specifically in India and across the world. We believe that anybody who has skills should be able to teach to students who are aspiring to learn from across the country, irrespective of where they belong to. So we are building live teaching infrastructure that enables handful of really high talented coaches to be able to teach to students in large number from across India. And we offer live classes, we build a lot of AI-based products and prepare students for software engineering jobs that they're dreaming of in top tech companies. We are super proud that we are funded by Y Combinator. For those who do not know Y Combinator, it is basically the world's best tech accelerator that there can exist. What this means is that they kind of select startups in their really initial stages when they're young and they bet on them saying that, okay, I think you're going to do great. And you can see on the right top, for example, Zepto, Razorpay, Meesho, Airbnb, Dropbox, a lot of stellar companies that you can imagine are all part of Y Combinator once upon a time when they were like young and in their startup stages. So we are super proud that we have this kind of stellar alumnus that we share with, and that gives us access to these kind of founders and mentorship and everything related to that. It also means that we were funded with $1 million in the seed round, and that gives us like a lot of runway to, rope in great talent from across the world to work with us on the problem statements that we are solving here. On the left top, you can see Tim Brady. He's one of our mentors at Y Combinator. He's Chief Product Officer at Yahoo, considered as EduTech God in Y Combinator. And on the left bottom, you can see Michael Siebel, who's the co-founder of Twitch and ex-managing director of Y Combinator. So these are the kind of people that we daily interact with and take mentorship from as we build Algo University and all the initiatives around it. So this is basically how Algo University's team looks like. We have a high density of computer science, specifically engineering talent here in one place. ACM ICPC World Finalists, Olympiad Gold Medalists, FANG engineers, basically engineers from Apple, Amazon, Indeed, Google, and a lot of really top-notch companies who have dropped off from their careers and then they came to join Algo University and build it. 80% of the team is from IITs and triple ITs and all these top colleges from across India. With this, we launch ATF Fellowship. I'll briefly tell you what it is. It is basically a fully funded mentorship cum scholarship program that is specifically curated and tailor-made for first and second year students who are passionate about computer science. Now, if you're somebody who is in first and second year of college and you're looking to build your career and are aspiring to do well in computer science in your future, then this is for you. And the best part about this is that if you get selected as an ATF scholar, you don't have to spend a single penny from your pocket to do this program and this fellowship. We aim to provide hands-on software development learning mentorship and all the guidance from senior software engineers from top tech companies. And this will be for selected 200 students only from across India. This program is driven by some incredibly talented mentors and founders from across Algo University. So as you can see, this is Manas Kumar Verma. He's CEO and founder of Algo University. Codeforce is yellow, ACM/ICPC regionalist, two times founder. Before Algo University, he already had another edutech startup. And he's a computer science grad from IIIT Hyderabad. And when he was 17-year-old, he already had an offer when he was entering college itself from DirectEye, right? And he was youngest intern in that company back in that time. And he's he's basically a quant trader. And at AlphaGrep Singapore, if you guys know, that's basically something that all computer science people aspire to be. Quant trading is like the best placement that you can get in this domain. Manas sir actually was also one of my batchmates. He was basically a legend back in those times. And if you see in competitive programming, he's India's top 15 competitive programmer. And he's also like avid mentor who also helps Algo University students to, better learn competitive programming. Swapnil Daga is the co-founder of Algo University, coach of 6-star, ACM/ICPC regionalist, EC, a grad from IIIT Hyderabad. But he transitioned into computer science directly in his third year. He cracked Google London. And as if that was not enough, he went on to Apple. So that's his trajectory. He also is the person responsible for teaching infrastructure and putting together a really cool team that will mentor the students at Algo University. Not only the founders, the entire core team is really, really cool and super badass. As you can see, Nikita Agarwal on the left, she is our AI and R&D lead. She has also, together with Manas sir and Nalin on the right, they have recently represented India in the Meta Hacker Cup, where we have ranked world #1 by representing and presenting an LLM model, a coding LLM model that has, beaten all the players from across the world. If you take anything from top 50 from across the world, there is no Indian team. So this is something that not only we are proud of as Algo University team, but something that Indians should be generally proud of. Nikita Agarwal is basically previously data scientist at Microsoft and then transitioned to be a senior software engineer at Indeed. Then she left that to join Algo University to lead AI and R&D here. Yaman Jain is the founding engineer of Algo University. Previously, he was actually Manas sir's student. He learned from Manas sir during his time at NIT Raipur final year. And during COVID time, he cracked 64 LPA ByteDance Singapore offer. And he did not take that offer, actually rejected it because he wanted to join Algo University and build a lot of programs and also modules here from scratch and has been working here ever since. Sayantan Jana is the head problem setter of Algo University, ACM/ICPC World Finalist in 2021, currently software engineer at Rubrik. This person is also from IIIT Hyderabad, Computer Science. Nalin Abrol is the Chief Technology Officer. He previously scaled infrastructure, built tech for a unicorn startup called Plivo. And he's also from Computer Science, IIIT Hyderabad. He then went on to leave this job at Plivo because although he was doing great and he got so much promotion there, but he decided to come here, lucky for us, and build infrastructure and products here for Algo University. So with this team and this kind of mentorship, ATF has been launched. Basically, this is only for 200 selected students from across India. A lot of colleges participate in this and a lot of students from across India participate in this. Almost 50,000 people applied last year from what I can recall, and only 200 students get selected. So this, if you are part of ATF, then you will have like 200 elite candidates that you will be studying with, competing with, learning with, and, kind of grow your career super early in your college. If I have to brief about the benefits of being Algo Scholar, these are the 6 main key points that I would say. A, obviously be part of the elite 200 peer group that you can have from across India. Master competitive programming directly from people like Manas sir, who is India's top 15 competitive programmer. Build industry-ready technical skill set, learn Gen AI and ML from top-notch mentors like Nikita ma'am and Nalin sir. Be ready, be interview ready, connect with recruiters from top companies. So since Algo University's main job is like, coaching and placement of students, we have a lot of infra here which will help you, understand how to get placement in top companies. Head start in tech career, obviously, if you're preparing in first and second year of your college itself, then you can consider yourself having a cakewalk in your final years. Meet top tech startup founders, people like Manasir and his peer group who have built their own startup companies like Razorpay, Meesho, Zepto, and you name it. All those top tech companies potentially are, backed by Y Combinator. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, this is also a great space for you. Let's dive a little deeper into each of those things. If you can imagine your time here, you'll be mastering DSA and CP, something that is crucial for anybody's growth in computer science career. From mentors who were previously ICPC World Finalists, Codeforces Master like Manasir, and you will directly have live classes with these people and have a clear problem solving roadmap, which means we have put together systems where you will structurally learn and grow, increase your ratings across all these platforms that you're practicing on. We also have 24/7 AI doubt assistant bot, which we have built here, which will also help you unblock yourself when the mentor probably is not available in mid of the night, right? Then you can directly talk to the AI bot and it'll help you. We have Brain Donic, very fun question sets that we release very on regular basis, daily basis, that you can keep practicing and increase your ratings. LCPC prep models for anybody who is interested in giving these competitive programming companies as well. Is my screen still visible to you all? Can you please say in the chat yes? Okay, all right. So then you'll be able to build scalable projects, be industry ready with all those skill set, right? So building projects in college is very different from what industry really expects from you. Something that you can deploy, system design concepts you'll be learning, web development, build applications at scale. And also if you are looking to participate in hackathons like, those companies, Adobe, Amazon, all these things conduct hackathons. So even for that, you'll be super ready through all of these things that you'll be learning. And apart from this, if you have anything that requires payment, flights that are required for you to come to Hyderabad, for any tech trip that we'll be organizing for you, any interviews that you will be participating in through ATF fellowship, everything will be covered. And we have per each candidate 1 lakh plus scholarship that we are putting out. So entirely, it's almost like a 1 crore mega project that you will be part of. And so you don't have to spend even 1 penny from your pocket throughout the entire fellowship. Everything that is required for that, your resources, financially and otherwise, we'll be covering for you. And this is one of the fun things that we do, fully funded tech trip to Hyderabad. We have Indian headquarters in Hyderabad itself. We have an office here. You can fly down, meet Manas sir, Swapnil sir, and all the mentors that you will be coached with, and visit companies like Microsoft, Apple, Google, Indeed, and all. You can also attend some tech meetups in IIIT Hyderabad, which we organize here. We'll be inviting you guys to join here, meet all the mentors, and forge warm connections with them. If you're also interested in startups, right, we also have like a great network here that you can get in touch with and have fun meeting all those founders. And for people who are performing really well, we also have a felicitation program planned for you at our headquarters in Hyderabad. So as you can see, this is like few pictures of all the algo scholars who have previously visited. Of course, this is just a small picture carousel, but there is a lot more fun things that we do. On the left top, this is like we are playing in the field. We took candidates out for camping. On the right bottom, you can see on the left bottom, that is Manasir being really, fun with the candidates here. On the middle, on the bottom, that is football. We have went to play with the people who have come and visited us. Right top, you can see students who have, excelled and landed their jobs. They have come back and they're sharing their story as an algo scholar. This is the kind of impact our work has done so far. 25,000 plus students who benefited through this pipeline. Actually, this is a little outdated. If you include even last year's stats, this is even much more higher. International placements have been done, 10 plus Google Scholar selections, 24 LPA average salary, and also a lot of Google Scholars previously represented India in ICPC Asia West Finals. So this is kind of like the portfolio you will have if you look back on your entire program, fellowship program, what all you have done. This is kind of like a good visual for you to understand how ATF fellow will have a profile once they finish the fellowship. Industry ready skill set, high CP ratings, scalable projects, interview ready skills, Gen AI projects, network with top 200 minds of the country. And of course, with all of these things, you will have like a stellar resume. We also give out certification for you if you want to put this out somewhere and leverage that, right? So this is kind of how your entire time here is going to look like. With that, I'll be concluding the quick introduction to ATF and welcome Manas sir, who is the founder and CEO of Algo University. And he's the man behind this entire fellowship program who has conceptualized it. And it's something that is really, cool. So you can hear from him directly about what idea he has behind ATF fellowship and how you can become an ATF scholar. So with that, I welcome Manas sir. Everybody, I also see like a lot of questions here. Great questions. All of these are very relevant. And Manasa will be taking these questions himself once he starts by the end of his session. So stay tuned and keep the questions on the chat.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarigama, for quick introduction. So awesome. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening, Nandini. Hello. Hi, Shravani. Hi, Shekhar. Hello. Perfect. Awesome. So super excited, first of all, to see more than 3,000 people joining here today. And I can see all their enthusiasm in the chat, and my chat is like, getting exploded. So super excited to see so much enthusiasm about ATF and to see so many people like, trying to like, build their preparations towards ATF. And I can also see a lot of questions on the chat. And again, I'm going to be picking up all the questions and I'm going to be answering all the questions as well. We're going to be discussing processes. How do you prepare for ATF? What will be the timeline, eligibility? A lot of questions are there on the chat. So I'll be covering all of those questions as well. Correct? But before we jump into all the processes and all of those things, the first 15 minutes, I would love to first of all take out in order to dive deeper into why in the very first place, why have we started ATF. It takes a lot of time, energy, investment, right? Not just monetarily, but also a lot of effort that we also put as a team, as a company from Algo University. So why in the very first place are we even starting ATF, right? Again, I'll be talking more about things, but again, it would be super helpful if you can just quickly answer the poll so I'll have better context. Where is all your preparation? If I'll have that information, then I will be able to gauge where exactly everyone is. And according to that, later on, when we discuss about the processes, I'm going to be using this poll information in order to help you and guide you to be better prepared for ATF. Okay, so interesting stats. Majority of people have already started, 50% plus have already started Code Chef or Code Forces, which is great. Another 50% who have not started, which is also awesome, great. Right, so we'll come to that. How do you prepare? But meanwhile, if you have not answered the poll, again, feel free to quickly vote out the poll as well. है ना? Okay, perfect. So right. So why in the first place are we running ATF? Like, what is the end goal? What is the vision of ATF? Why should you even bother about becoming an AlgoTech fellow, right? What is the vision behind the ATF program? So it might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but the entire idea, the best benefit, of course, the college the trip, the fully paid trip to Hyderabad and all of those things are cool, but in my opinion, the most strongest takeaway that you can leverage ATF is that if you are actually able to prepare for ATF, if you're going to actually go through all of the ATF program, then the best benefit that you're going to have, which is also the vision why we are starting ATF, is to give back, your college life back to you. Your college life back to you. What do I even mean by that? Right? And how is ATF even connected to that? It might sound a little counterintuitive, but hear me out. In your entire lifetime, right now, all of you are in college, and these 4 years are not any random 4 years in your life. These are very special 4 years of your life where you're having the maximum amount of freedom and time. So these 4 years before this, most likely all of you were with your parents, did not have a lot of freedom to figure out and things like that. And right now you're paying college fees. So beyond a certain degree, college does not cares about what exactly you're doing with your time fully, right? But once you get into job, then again, they are going to be paying for your time. So they will make sure they are leveraging your time fully and completely well. So whether you like it or not, whether you realize that right now or not, but these 4 years of your college life are extremely special. And again, this is the maximum amount of freedom and time that you're going to get in your lifetime. Obviously, until and unless you go grow old, where again you'll have full time and freedom to do with whatever you want to do, right? So what do you do with these 4 years is very, very important. And what really happens in most of the case for most of your 99% of your seniors is they are they're worried about placement all the time. They also want to have fun. They also want to organize fest. They also want to do all of those things, but they are not able to do any one of those things with complete full peace of mind, right? So ATF, is all about if you are able to pack all of your career related things within 6 months of period, which is what is going to happen for all the ATF fellows. They will be invited to the ATF program, as Sarigama ma'am was talking about, and they will be paired with some of the best, top 200 elite, most high potential people across India. They will become their peers, and all of these 200 people, ATF fellows, will be paired with some of the best engineers that India has produced as their mentors. And when this happens, the entire idea is your entire preparation can get compressed to a window of 6 months. And once this is done very nicely, you will be super well confident that, okay, at least there are so many things to do in my college. Being worried about placement or internship is not one of them, right? And once that, you get that kind of confidence, and once you have that kind of clarity, only then whatever is your remainder period of college, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years ahead of you, whatever time period of your college is left, only then you're going to be able to fully leverage it out, right? So 110% career is important. Absolutely. That is why all of you prepared very hard to get into top colleges. So career is 110% important, but it is also important, in my opinion, to have a lot of fun in these 4 years and to maybe use this time to figure out yourself or to do whatever that you wish to. So these are the 4 special years that you should be utilizing it for that, not only for your career. But once you're super well prepared in 6 months, then of course, with a greater degree of confidence and clarity, with true sense of freedom, you will be able to have a lot of fun. You'll get a lot of time to figure out your life, and all of those things will become whichever part of your college is left, you can fully leverage it to do all the other things with full true peace of mind. So that is what the idea is, and that is the best outcome that I can possibly give to you. It is not going to be money. It is not going to be a trip to Hyderabad. It is not going to be just teaching you stuffs, right? This is the best thing that I can ever do for anybody is to give back their college life, right? So this is what the conception of overall vision of ATF is. And again, this is possible. And why this is super close is because I was very, very lucky to have a head start. I'll maybe quickly walk through my story so you'll get a better context. When I say the word head start, it will make a lot more sense once I talk about my journey. But I was very lucky to have a head start very early in my career I never realized that it is going to be super helpful, but it later on, turned out to be very impactful. And even though I was in Triple IT Hyderabad, doing computer science, in my 4 years of my college life, I did a lot of fun, a lot of masti, right? Like me and my friends were literal definition of a word like bakchodi, right? There's no better word. I know it's not the most appropriate, but there's no better word to enunciate that feel. We did a lot of that. We were literally enjoyed our college life very, very thoroughly. And at the end of the day, I cannot say about my friends, but for me, definitely because I had that head start, it did not eventually even impact my career, right? So I'll just walk you through my story, so you'll be able to understand and realize the importance of head start a lot better. And ATF is literally all about building that head start. So the entire idea is I had a head start because I was lucky, but I want to give you that head start in some format so you can also be lucky and leverage it. And again, what you do with that head start is entirely up to you. You can use it to do whatever that you wish to do in your college life. So I'll quickly go through all the my head start. I will just unpack the head start that I had, and that should give you a very powerful idea of how things can look like and how powerful head start can actually be, right? So in seventh grade, I had my elder brother who was 5 years elder to me, right? And I was very, very curious. I wanted to feel smart, and in fifth grade I was studying his textbook in order to feel smart. And in fifth class, I learned from his basic computer science book something called as HTML and CSS. And I was amazed ki, okay, using just Notepad, I can actually create some web page. And I was as a fifth class kid, I was super happy and excited just by building those simple, very shitty looking web pages. I was very happy that, okay, I can do this using Notepad. Again, that trend continued in sixth grade. My brother also graduated to 11th. He got C++ in his textbook. Very, very, very shitty textbook. But again, I ended up learning C++ from his textbook. Again, the same idea. I'm just super curious. I just want to explore. And again, I just want to feel smart. So I'm just grabbing my elder brother's book and feeling smart, sitting with it. I'm sure a lot of you have also done so, all the younger sibling in the crowd, right? Again, I had no idea that this is starting to build something concrete or useful at all. I'm just super curious, just exploring out and figuring it out, right? And then in seventh grade, something it got a lot more serious. Why? Because I don't know how many people remember about a website or even know about a website called as Orkut. Just let me know on the chat if you have heard about Orkut or if you know what Orkut is, right? Just let me know. I'm not expecting a lot of people to know, but again, okay, so maximum few yeses are coming, but most of the comments are no, never heard of it, which is expected. So I'll tell you what Orkut was. Back during those days, every single person had an account on a website called as Orkut. It was the social media, right? And then something interesting was happening back then. Every single person, right, was moving from Orkut to a new website called as thefacebook.com, right? And this was the new startup, it was a new thing. Again, at least Facebook, I'm sure not most of you actively use, but it is not extent enough that you do not know about the name itself. So a new website called as Facebook was becoming super popular. And even though everybody had account on Orkut, they were leaving Orkut and they were joining a website called as Facebook, right? And that was a big idea for me back then, because until then I thought, "Ki, okay, whichever is the most popular website, it will continue to be most popular website." And this showed me that, okay, the legendary Orkut, people are flocking out from there and they're going to facebook.com. So I had an idea of my own, and that big idea was, how about I create my own social network? And that is exactly what I did, which I later called as Fazura. And how about I transfer all the people from Facebook to Fazura? right? Obviously, it did not succeeded. Otherwise, you would have been knowing Fazura, not Facebook. But again, that was my super serious intent to replace Facebook and again build my own social network. The only problem was I knew HTML, CSS, I knew C++, but I did not knew any backend or any kind of server side programming language at all. So, how do I build my own social network website with if I do not have that? So, what I did in seventh grade was I made a deal with my dad because I did not had internet at home to top it off. Right? We used to have dial-up internet connection, and again, internet was not there in every single house back then. Right? So I made a deal with my dad. I took 128 MB pen drive from SanDisk. Again, it was the highest, capacity. It used to feel 128 MB used to feel a lot. And I took that pen drive, right? That was the largest capacity pen drive out there in the market. And I sat out, okay, I'll get 2 hours. I will go to my dad's office and I will use 2 hours I'll get 2 hours of internet, right? So I took my pen drive and went to his office. And in those 2 hours, I literally did not even read a single thing. My only goal was to make this pen drive from empty to completely full 128 MB of different things. Anything related, I would do Google search, anything related to how do you build your website, how do you build your own social network or whatever keywords I could think of in those 2 hours. That is the only thing that I did. I just Googled up, went to page 2, page 3, page 4, page 10. After page 10, there is no result. If anybody has actually been that paranoid, then they don't have any result after page 10 or page 8. So I would do different search queries and then go for all the 10 pages, whichever anything that even remotely felt like related, I would just directly download it. It turns out once I did my 128 out of 128 100%, I fully filled my pen drive. Once I did that, I came back and I realized almost most of the things were not very useful, but there were two super useful things. One was an ebook on a very old programming language called as PHP, and the second was a very large open source code base in PHP by Drupal, which had tens of thousands of files in that very large code base. So that is how I started learning from an ebook and by reverse engineering a very large code base written in PHP. And that is how I taught myself PHP. And that is how I started building my website called as Fazura. And in eighth class, that is literally what I did. In eighth class, I literally built Fazura. I coded Fazura. I learned all what was required for the full stack development. And I taught myself that. And then I built my own social network, Fazura. And it was very beautiful. Instead of your profile, it would have your own flip book where you can, instead of having chronological post, you can actually drag and drop and design your own magazine. And anybody who's visiting your profile will be getting access to that magazine or live chat or live multiplayer game. Every single person, in the school, started in the computer lab, started playing games, online games with each other on this website called as Fazura. And in ninth class, it started taking off very, very fast. At the end, it was very slow growth in the beginning. And then I got 10,000 daily active users, right? Again, it is not a lot now looking back, but back then it felt like everyone was using my website. It was getting insane, traction. And just when it was shooting off, the daily active users were shooting off. At that point of time, again, I had to take a very hard decision. My parents and teachers banded that I'm wasting too much time on computers and I should probably start for my ITJ preparation. So after that, I had a lot of debate discussions, and they really wanted me to close it. So with a very heavy heart, right when it was taking off, I had to kind of drop it, and I was going to 10th. So all of my parents and everybody was very, very serious, and they wanted me to prepare for ITJ examination. So I know a lot of people have a similar or trajectory or story. for starting their JEE. So I decided to shift into a city called as Bhilai, which is like the Kota of Chhattisgarh, where which is the hub for IT JEE preparation. So with this, when it was taking off, I had to actually stop, put a full stop on this website called as Fazura. But it taught me a lot about web development, building, scalability, and I learned a lot of things that I otherwise would not have learned. In 10th grade, again, there was a very pivotal moment which was very useful. All this while, I was just building because I was enjoying the process. So all these years, I was just building because I was enjoying the process. I had no ulterior motive. In 10th grade, for the first time, I realized that whatever I'm doing out of my curiosity, it probably is not all useless and it has some tangible value. Because in 10th grade, I got my first job offer. There was a company called as Data on Air, and that was stuck for their startup launch because of some technical issue. And they were calling out for help, and I reached out to them, and then I fixed their problems in less than a week, and they were good to go, and they were able to launch it in the very next week. And that bug and those issues had held them back for like almost couple of months for their particular launch. So they were excited, they were impressed, and they sent me a job offer, and they received a reply that they were not expecting. My reply was ki bhai, I'm until 6 p.m. I'm in school, so I don't think full time working is going to be a option for me at all. So therefore, I don't think I would be able to help you or join you or something like that. And that is the first point where they realized, okay, all this while they were interacting and engaging with a high school student. So that was kind of kind of a, but again, it was a funny incident, but it was a good validation point that okay, whatever I'm building probably has some real world value as well. It is not just in my mind, it is not just a fun activity or just I'm just following my curiosity, having a loads of fun. It also probably has some real value as well. And again, 11th and 12th, again, also went in those tangent. And in 11th, I also did machine learning. And again, in 12th, I also stumbled across something called as competitive programming. I used to sit out on cafe and I started competitive programming as well. And I ended up representing Indian team at Asian Pacific Informatic Olympiads twice in Kazakhstan and Indonesia, right? And I also participated the last thing which was also very very powerful. I also participated in ACM ICPC camp for the first time because I had already represented Indian team at Asian Pacific Olympiad. They also invited for the first time the school students as well, and in those camp where there were future or current almost 10 12 ACM ICPC world finalists, I got a rank of third amongst all the college students, and I won my first money, which was 3,000 rupees for third prize. And luckily, as luck would have it, there was somebody from Direct Eye who was also super impressed, and he invited me. Hey, would you love to do internship at Direct Eye? And I was like, absolutely. I submitted a 4 page long resume. Please do not repeat that mistake. Resume should be 1 page. But again, they were kind enough and they still allowed, and they invited for interviews and everything went well. And I joined as Direct Eye's youngest intern. Even before joining Triple IT Hyderabad, I did my software engineering internship at their Direct Eye Plex at Bombay. So this is what I did. And again, Directa is one of the top tier kind of companies. So even before getting into Triple IT Hyderabad, in the very first week, I had also become purple rated on Code Forces. That is like I was already in top 50 in India, right? So all of this literally happened, right? So if you can see, the thing that I'm talking about is purely about Head Start. And if you can imagine now at this point of time, before joining college, I have already done some development, scalability, a little bit of machine learning, competitive programming. I'm already in top 50, which is a decent level, became purple on Code Forces. So I've done almost all the things before joining college, which a college student should do by the time he or she graduates. And that gave me a massive amount of head start. And that gave me the license to do whatever I want to do in college, and that would still probably not affect my career at all. Later on, again, I did a lot of fun, masti. I also figured out what I want to do. I started my first startup in college, and that all things became super, super critical and important. At the end of the day, I got a PPO. I worked as a quant trader at a company called as AlphaGrep. And again, I ended up getting one of the highest salary back then, which was like 50 lakh cash salary and 30 lakh guaranteed annual bonus. So all cold hard cash, no ESOP, no nothing, all of these, so it was one of the highest offer when I was graduating, right? So this all was possible while doing all of fun, masti and bakshodi only because only one single reason, and that reason was because I was lucky enough to have a massive head start even before starting the college, right? So I did not realize at that point of time, I did not calculate, I did not compute, okay, that this is going to be helpful for me or not. I was just lucky to just follow whatever I wanted to do, wherever my curiosity led. And one thing led to another, and that led me to get this powerful head start. So the entire reason why what I want you to take away from it is if you can build such a head start for yourself, right? Whatever, if your first year is already done, okay. If your second year is already done, okay. Wherever you are at this point of time, whatever period of your college is left, what I want you to do is I want you to compress your entire learning in a small period of time. And before, your other batchmates and all of the other people start even preparing for that, if you're already prepared it and if you're already done with preparation, you can literally go for utilizing rest of your college years with whatever things that you want to do. So the last analogy that I'm going to drop, after that we are going to get into the process and the timeline and how do you prepare for it, is a very simple analogy, right? There is a football that is stuck on the mud. Okay, just remember this. This is going to be insanely powerful. If there is a football that is stuck in the mud, the question is, how many kicks do you need in order to take out the ball out of the mud? Is one kick going to be enough? Is 10 kick going to be enough? Is 100 kick going to be enough? Is 1000 kick going to be enough? The answer is, if those cakes are small, right? No matter how many number of cakes you do, it is not going to be sufficient. Why? You'll make a small cake, the ball will deflect a little bit, and then it will come back again to its original position. So whether you do 10 cake, 100 cake, 1000 cake, a million cake, the ball is not going to come out of the mud, right? So how do you get this ball out of the mud? The answer is you just have to make one single but one big powerful cake, and that is going to be more than enough, and the ball will come out of the mud. So the thing is, like 99% of your college seniors are going to be in this mode, which is they will be preparing in second year for software engineering or whatever. In third year, they will again prepare for it. In fourth year, maybe they'll again prepare for it. Once they get into the job, they will want to switch the job because that will help them get a better salary. They will again prepare for it. And that is just like making, it's just same single syllabus, it is same single set of topics, same class of problems, but you are kicking the ball again and again and again. So the long story short, if you are like those 99% of seniors, I do not want you to be like that, because you are repeatedly doing one stuff over and over and over again, and that is such a waste of time. There are so many beautiful things in the life, rather than just keep on preparing and preparing and preparing. So instead, what I want you to remember is, do whatever you do, but do it with 100% intensity. Once you do that, once you make that one powerful cake, once you have prepared solidly with 100% of intensity, you will get the ball out of the mud and you'll not have to keep preparing again and again and again, right? and you will be in the, like, the 1% of your college seniors who are all actually doing great, right? So I don't want you to fall in this cycle of preparing every single year, every single time. A little bit warm up is fine, but just have a massive, intentful, period of preparation and be done with the syllabus. And once you're done, you will be fully free mentally to do whatever that you want to do in your life. There are so many beautiful things, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to make of your college life. This college life is not going to come back to you again once it is done, right? And you'll not even realize it is going to move so fast, and with a blink of eye, it will get over super soon. So before it does, be super well prepared, and the remainder period of your college life, live to its fullest. It is very beautiful period of your time in your life, and everybody should, use it not just for their career, but to actually have a lot of fun, make friends which are going to be lifelong, right? Even Alva University I've started, majority of the people here are my college friends from the college, right? And again, these are some of the bonds that never gets broken. So enjoy your college life to the fullest one, and again, do not make compromise with the career. Both of those things are not, mutually exclusive. You can absolutely do it. And again, even if you forget everything in today's session, I just want you to remember this one single powerful analogy. If you can remember this, if you can live abide by this, then again you will be doing great and you'll be doing awesome, right? So perfect, awesome, great. So all of these things I think makes it super clear that head start is super important. And again, ATF is literally all about building your head start. So how can you become Algotech Fellowship? Again, I'm going to be talking about processes and timeline and how do you prepare. There are a few things that I've also planned for your preparation. So the stage one is going to be your coding round. Okay, so what is going to be there in the coding round? I'm going to also talk about that. And the timeline for this coding round is going to be around 2021st September. Based on your college, it will be be dependent on that. So 21st September ke around your coding test is going to be happening. This is your round one. There will be 6 problems. Again, you can do it in any programming language, C++, Java, Python, all of them are perfectly fine. There will be 6 problems in this particular coding round. 2 problem will be very, very easy. As long as you know any programming language, C, C++, Java, Python, you should be able to solve the first 2 problems out of 6. The another 2 problem will again have almost no prerequisite, right? More than sorting or basic stuff like that. There will be no prerequisite, but they will require you to have a very high IQ or for you to be very, very smart, right? But they will not require a lot of preparation. And then finally, there will be 2 problems from data structures and algorithms that will require you a little bit of preparation. If you are well prepared, irrespective of whether you're smart or not, you should still be able to solve those 2 DSA problems. So the idea is either very smart people get shortlisted or very well prepared candidates should get shortlisted. If you're belonging to either of those 2 categories, you should be acing the test with flying colors, right? And you should be able to do well. And again, DSMA, prefix sum, binary search, ternary search, little bit of dynamic programming, anything can come in the DSA portion. So again, if you have not started preparing, you can start preparing from right now, right away. And again, there is still time. There is almost 3 weeks from now. So utilize it fully well. And again, you will be able to do it. A lot of people who are saying, on the chat that they still have not started preparing. So again, I also have a small plan. If you have not prepared, again, I'm also going to be talking about that as well. So I'll be also be talking about a small, simple game plan very, very soon. After stage one, there will be stage two. Stage two is going to be your interviews. And in interviews, again, we can ask you, the entire goal is, are you serious about building your own head start or not? Because that is literally what we are doing in ATF. And for that, we are going to be again be asking you a little bit of problem solving. Plus, we may also ask you to show or talk about your projects or things like that, right? So again, it does not has to be super like, intense, or it could be a very simple small project that you picked up in a single day, right? Or over a weekend that you learned, very basic project. That is also fine. I'm just looking for through these set of interviews, whether you are serious about Head Start or not. If you are, then you can showcase your initiative that, okay, you're already trying to build that Head Start, right? So doing projects or things like that will be like, a lot more easier. And again, this will be happening probably from end of September. So from start of October and end of September, this is when your interviews will be happening. And again, last year we gave interviews to almost 500 candidates. That is from first stage, almost 500 plus candidates got shortlisted and they received interviews from humans. This year, and finally, once you clear this, then again, once you have cleared the interview, then you will become ATF fellow, and almost 200 fellow this time we are planning to accept. Last year we accepted 70 fellows, and this year we are planning to accept 200 fellows. We are making it even bigger, and all the ATF fellows will have their beginning from ATF camp beginning from November itself. And the next 6 months, they will be paired with some of the best mentors. And again, all the things all completely free of cost. And they will be working and they will be working with other 200 best high potential people from entire India. Correct? So this is more or less the process, very straightforward. Have a coding interview, have a coding round, then clear interview, and you should be good to go. And once you are able to do that, you will be end up winning the ATF fellowship and you'll become ATF fellow, right? So this is the entire process and rough of the timeline. And this is what is the process. And these are some of the dates. The dates may depend a little bit tweak based on your college that you are from, right? A different college may have different availabilities. So just look out for your WhatsApp group and you're going to be getting your respective exact dates for all of these kinds of things, right? So this is all about ATF and this is the timeline. A lot of people are also asking how do we prepare in the next 3 weeks. So we also are bringing for you starting from tomorrow something called as Nurture Camp, right? So it will start from tomorrow. And again, this is going to focus on the four practical verticals, which is the number one vertical is your STL or your standard template library, whichever language you're using. What is the template library for that? DSA, data structures and algorithms, will also help you get started to build your competitive programming profile on Code Forces. Later on, when you'll be applying for your internships or placement, having such a profile is extremely important and powerful for you to get shortlisted. And a little bit optional section, Introduction to Development Using AI. So these are the four particular verticals that you should be doing as a college student by the time you graduate. And these all for the four of these, we are going to be having a beginner, foundational level, introduction to it. For example, we'll not be covering entire DSA. Entire DSA is too vast. Again, this will be very fast paced, and your STL, C++, DSA, competitive programming, these will be covered in the next 3 weeks. And after that, there will be 2 more weeks for your introduction to development as well. Correct? So this will be covered in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Majority of the syllabus will be covered in 3 weeks. So if you are able to prepare for this, this should be super helpful for your coding round. And again, this should be super helpful for your interview round as well. Correct? If you want to apply for Nurture, again, Nurture may there is a small fees associated. Again, it will be 1,000 rupees is the fees. But again, our intent is not to charge money. Our intent is to find the sincere people, right? I'll tell you why. But if you're able to attend 90% of the classes of Nurture Camp and solve 90% of problem, your 90% of fees will be returned back to you. So if you are able to maintain that consistency, your 900 rupees will be given back to you, right? And the only reason why we are actually doing, even having a fees in the first place, the nurture camp, why this is not completely free, obviously it is not to make money. Nurture camp is not recorded or something like that. This is 100% live. So what we are going to be doing is, starting from tomorrow, we'll be dividing all of you into different teams. Every team will be having a captain mentor. There will be all the people who will be assigned under him, right? There will be different captains, the different teams, and the next 4 or 5 weeks will be organized as a massive learning championship. So every day, every week there will be few live classes for these four topics, but every week there will also be your team meetings where you'll be competing for one big mega prize, and you will be all of you people in a single team will be part of single team, and they will be pushing for you to win. And the winner, the best winning team and the top performers are also going to be invited. Tentatively, we are still fixing the mega prize, but tentatively the trip to Hyderabad, the ATF fellows, that they will be selected fellows will be invited. Alongside the same trip, we are also planning to bring and invite the winning team as well. So this is all posed as a giant learning championship model. So it will be fun. You'll get to make friends. You'll not get to know every single person in the camp here in the nurture camp, but within your team, you will be making a lot of friends from your entire all parts of India, because you guys will be meeting together. You'll be having your Zoom calls. You'll be discussing your strategies. How do we get front and all of those things. So it is going to be very fun, championship. So all of this is live, and obviously we would want everybody to be present, right? So, and that is why we want serious people, and that is a simple filter is to just apply a very small fees, right? So that is why we are putting 1,000 rupees. We are absolutely not going to make money on this, and again we are going to give back 900 rupees if you are consistent in this particular nurture session. So nurture session camp, if you want to apply, you can, we are going to be starting from today itself. The link is already posted on the chat. Use this link, and you can, using this link, you can right now apply and book your seats. Again, it is first come and first serve, right? So just apply, and once you are able to pay the fees, your seat will be booked. Again, there will be limited number of seats because it is a live learning championship. So it is going to be purely be first come and first serve, right? So you can just click on the link, and if you are excited about preparing for this for ATF, that should be super helpful. Even if you want to just get a head start independent of ATF, again nurture camp should be super helpful. So you can still apply. It will not only help you. The best part about both nurture camp and for your ATF is that if you are preparing for ATF or if you are part of nurture camp, the process is exactly same as your internship or your placement, right? Coding rounds and your technical interviews. So both the processes are exactly the same. So if you are preparing, if you are ATF aspirant, if you're preparing for it, then obviously automatically you will, even just the preparation will start building your head start, independent of whether you're qualifying for stage one or not, whether you're qualifying for stage two or not. Your head start starts getting built as soon as you start preparing for ATF. So in that regard, it is also super rewarding that you are just preparing for this thing, and in the process you are ending up getting prepared for internships, building your head start for internship and placements, right? So you can just click on the link, and right now you can just quickly register, and you can just directly pay. And once you are able to pay 1,000 rupees in the nurture camp, then again you will get your slots booked, and there will be limited number of seats that will be as soon as we are done with that, we are going to be closing the nurture camp as well. Correct? All right, and just to be super clear, there is no bias. Of course, the nurture camp students, there might it look like a lot of people are also qualifying for ATF, but just to make it clear, there is no bias, there is no nothing at all. The only thing will be if you are in nurture camp, obviously you will be better prepared for the coding round for DSA in general, and that will automatically, consequentially improve your odds of qualifying for ATF as well. So, consequentially, implicitly, you will be having higher chances. But obviously, from our side, ATF is completely separate process. It is obviously completely free of cost. And again, if you're super well prepared, obviously super happy, just directly turn up to stage one, come to the coding round. Most welcome, right? So nurture camp and ATF are completely different. And again, just nurture camp is just for us to provide you with that super like fast period. If in the next 3 weeks you want to get super well prepared very fast, then this is just like a fast track where we are going to help you learn and even become better as well. Correct? So you can just simply go for the link will be active for some more time, and from tomorrow itself we are going to be starting the nurture camp key classes. And again, the classes will happen in the evening. It will not conflict with your college, right? So we are going to be doing that from the evening itself. Correct? So this is all about nurture camp. If there are more questions, again, just let me know. There are also few other questions. Uh, so I'm also be going to be answering some of them. So again, just feel free to put it out on the chat itself. And again, I'll also drop my LinkedIn account. If you have any questions, again, feel free to stay connected. Just when you apply, if when you send the request for LinkedIn, again, I would be super happy and glad to be connected with all the ATF aspirant. When you send the connection request, just add a note that you are ATF aspirant or something like that. So I will know that, okay, you have already attended this session. I already have few thousands of pending LinkedIn requests. So that will, if having a note, if you put out a note, that will make it very easy for me to go through at least those notes and accept your LinkedIn connection request as well, right? Okay, so Aman, if there is any problem or issue in paying the payment link, again, just let us know. You can just message any of us. If this is a genuine issue, even if seats are over, we can help you out. But again, you will need to ping with your issue, screenshot or whatever. Just reach out to us and we'll help you out there, right? And again, all the people who have already paid, we are going to be starting your private WhatsApp group tomorrow. And how will you get the access to the premium portal, all the steps and instruction for nurture camps premium portal you're going to be getting in that WhatsApp group itself. So if you've already done the payment, that is all, and the rest of the how do you get the premium portal and all of those things will be given to you in your WhatsApp group. All right, so there are 10 more spots that are left. Again, feel free to use the link, copy the link, and then apply it. And with this, you should be able to get into the nurture camp. And from tomorrow, we are going to be starting the nurture camp itself, right? Perfect. So there are a lot of questions. So for ATF here, I want to make it super clear. There is no bias. There is no bias about what is your branch and what is your gender, right? It is truly 100% based on your merit and merit alone. So your branch is not going to matter. Your gender is not going to matter. There are a lot of other fellowship programs also specifically for women, but for males, there are not a lot of those opportunities. To best of my knowledge, this is one and only single opportunity. And again, we want to make it and keep it that way simply because we want to make it super clear that anybody who becomes a ATF fellow by merit, they are going to become that fellow. So whenever if anybody becomes a ATF fellow, obviously they should feel super confident that is purely based on merit and no other factor like branch or gender or those any of those things. Correct? Last year, obviously ATF fellows have done insanely well. ATF fellows have also gotten top-notch internships. They are also the highest stipend I can give you, Raman, that you're asking for. The highest salary is like almost 4.5 lakh per month ka stipend in the internship that ATF fellow has actually bagged. That is literally one of the highest internship stipend. This is not full time. This is internship stipend that they have bagged in India, right? And again, there are also we also kept we did not promise in the ATF fellowship, but in ATF fellowship we also introduced optional tracks like Google Summer of Code, and we're also introducing new tracks like Quant, right, for HFT. So there are also people who qualified for Google Summer of Code and things like that, right? So again, obviously, 200 people who are we are going to be selecting this year, they are obviously going to be having super high potential. They can be from any college, they can be from any place of India. And once they get paired with some of the best mentors in India, some of the best engineers, right, in India, obviously they are going to do wonders. And that is not a surprise at all, right? Navpreet, for HFTs, for few specific handpicked people, I'm going to be I'm planning to take a small HFT track as well as an optional track, but that is not the core and forefront. है ना? Perfect. All right. Uh, all right. Neil, so none of those factors are going to matter. So I've already spoken about that, right? So that should not be a big factor. For colleges, although yes, we might favor that. Okay, some of the some of the colleges like we may want to have some regional quota. So from every college, at least one seat we would like to allocate, and then the rest of the seats will go to the best and the most deserving people. So in that regard, there will be a little bit of regional that we would like to have all the regional representations in that regard. But if you are doing performing great, if you're doing well, you should still be able to qualify because 200 is a good number of seats, right? We may choose to decrease the seat if there are not enough good candidates. We may choose to increase the seat if there are more number of deserving candidates, right? So as long as you're doing a good performance, you should not be worried. If you're doing a great performance, you should be able to bag and become ATF fellow eventually. Correct? Perfect. All right. ATF Abhishek, everything will be online for ATF fellows. The 6 month, the plan of the ATF camp that will eventually be for the ATF selected people. Everything will be online only, except for the trip part where selected people who are performing good in the camp itself, they will be invited within the ATF itself. So those people will be invited, and those people only for the duration of trip will be the offline component. Rest of the teaching, learning, building, all of those components will be online itself. Chaitanya, again, your CGPA and all will not impact your candidature for your ATF. Your CGPA is also not going to matter at all, right? All right, perfect, awesome. So again, I'm going to be we have already started 15 daily problem challenge for you to help you get warmed up and get prepared for ATF, and we'll continue posting those challenges from tomorrow onwards. We are going to be posting one daily challenge as well, and later on, once we get closer to the date, maybe I'll also give you a sample format of expected set of questions, right? Which will help you calibrate the difficulty as well. So before you appear for round one, you should get calibrated. But before that, we are going to be continuing with our daily problem. Every single day, just one single problem, continue solving it. We're also going to be posting video editorial. So if you're not able to solve it, go through the editorial and learn and upskill. So that is the simplest form of it. But again, if you want expedited and more complete format of learning with live classes, live championship, live team, and all of those fun elements, right? Then again, Nurture Camp is your one-stop place to be at. Correct? Perfect. All right. Okay, so perfect. So I think there are still a lot of questions. Again, feel free. I've already posted my LinkedIn. So again, feel free. I don't think I'll be able to take every single question. So again, just feel free to post it on my LinkedIn. I will love to answer every single query. And again, just add a note that you're ATF aspirant. That will help me. And I would just go today itself. I'll go and accept. If you're excited, again, just let me know whatever is that your status is. Feel free to convey it, add it on your note, tell that you're ATF aspirant, and I'll go one by one and I'll accept all the requests. And again, feel free to ask any questions there as well. I'll be there to help you out, and I'll be responding over LinkedIn as well. Correct? Yasmin, when you're sending the connection, after you send the connection, there is also a note where you can add a note beside the send connection request. So again, just figure out, you'll be able to find it. Just do a Google search, you should be able to find it. है ना? Perfect. All right. So perfect. So that's all from my side, boys and girls. I hope all of you are excited about ATF and you will start preparing even if you have not started. And again, all the people who are already registered for Nurture, if you have already covered it, then again, if you've already paid the fees, we'll be meeting tomorrow again. And rest of the people, we are going to be meeting soon. Best of luck from my side for ATF, for all your preparation for your coding round. So, super best of luck. And again, even if you forget everything, I just want you to walk away and always remember this very, very powerful analogy. How many kicks do you want to do in your life for one single ball to be kicked out of the mud? Right? Just remember that and apply that. Do give 100% of whatever you do. And again, you will have no regrets in life. You'll be enjoying, you'll be having fun, you'll also be working hard, you'll also be having a good career. So, a lot of things, if not 100% of things, but as many things as possibly life can allow it to be right, you will be like, getting those things very, very, like, nicely done. So, continue with that. And again, just remember this. And with this, boys and girls, I'll be ending today's session. Basant, if you've already paid the fees for the nurture camp, there's nothing to be done on your end. And tomorrow we'll be adding you to the WhatsApp group. So again, you will be invited to private WhatsApp group, and from there you will be getting steps on how do you get your premium access to the premium portal for the nurture camp. है ना? So perfect. So all right, boys and girls, with this, chalo fir. All right, bye bye. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. And again, all the people, I hope today's session will give you the kickstart and the motivation to start building your head start for internship, for your placement, for your career, and for the ATF as well. So all the people who have also forgotten after getting into college that these are the 4 most special years of your college, I hope today's session was a good reminder for that. And if you have not started living fullest in your college life, I hope at least some of you after today's session have, like, gotten that spark and gotten that recall again and will start making full 100% utilization of these 4 very, very special years. So again, build career, study a lot. All of those things are important, but do not forget to have a lot of fun. Do not forget to make friends, spend time, and again, figure out what you actually want to do in your life as well. है ना? So chalo fir, all right, chalo, bye bye. Thank you so much. Super happy to hear, Neil, that today's session changed your mindset. Awesome. Perfect. Chalo fir, all right, bye bye. Thank you, Sumitra. Chalo, good night, Shekhar. All right, Abhinav, chalo, bye bye. All right, Tanvi. Super happy to hear that you enjoyed today's session. Chalo, perfect. Awesome. Chalo, see you soon, hopefully. All right, good night. Chalo, bye bye. Thank you.